Daredevil is back. Okay, I just finished watching the season 2 premiere of Daredevil Born Again. Yes, Daredevil is back, and I couldn't be happier because I really love this version of Daredevil. And I thought, why not review each episode as we go on? Because so far I only reviewed seasons, not episodes. So I think I'll do, my overall thoughts on the episodes every week with Daredevil and like the Boys season 5 coming up, or any anime or anything like that, like the Dark Maul show that's coming out. I'm really excited, which is in April. So that is my release strategy for these kind of shows for the time being. Let's see how that works out. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about Daredevil. Disclaimer, I will be talking about spoilers in this video, so if you haven't seen the episode or don't want to know any spoilers, close the video, watch it, and then come back. Okay, what do I think? I think it was a pretty solid episode. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't like the best of the best, but overall, it was a good starting episode to the overall season and like the narrative that they're building. And this episode begins where season one's narrative ended. I think some time has passed. They don't really specify in the show, but I read that it's like 5 or 6 months. Wilson Fisk is like the mayor. He brought in AVTF, which is like the anti-vigilante task force. There's a curfew in New York City. He has New York City in his grasp now, which feels like proper Kingpin, which I absolutely love. And yeah, the story is Matt Murdock, Karen, and all the people surrounding that team trying to take him down with, working with people inside this inner circles of Kingpin. Like, this episode features the beginnings of that story and how the puzzle pieces fall into, make the narrative shape of this season, which was really fun to see. And it's good to have, Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio as Daredevil and Kingpin back, because they are literally the best things this show, even the Netflix show, gave us. I absolutely love watching these two. They're dynamic. I love it. They are literally these comic book characters. Like, they are them. So it was good to see them back. The action is very violent, like season one. Even though we didn't get too much action this episode, even though we got two, still what we saw was quite violent and very fun to watch. The directors are back from season one, and I need to praise them because their directing is actually really good. I really like the cinematography. I saw a lot of people calling it ugly. I can see why, because some scenes look a bit foggy. No pun intended. They do look a bit foggy, and the colors don't really pop. But it just, I don't know, it sets the mood for Daredevil. Daredevil's always been like this dark, brooding show, you know what I mean? And it's like, I like that the tone is a bit toned down. Saying that though, some of the cinematography and the shots are beautiful. I love when Daredevil uses his like echo vision, and like the aspect ratio opens up as he like trying to listen to it. And then as he concentrates on something, they zoom in and like the aspect ratio closes. I thought that was very, very unique. Very interesting take on his power, and it immerses the audience into it. I really enjoyed that. Overall, yeah, the show is like a proper TV show that has superhero DNA into it. I think that's the one of the most interesting parts about it. They actually, treat this as prestige TV. But does the end product look like a prestige TV? Well, I don't know yet. We will find out in, season 2 finale. And one of the new additions to the cast is Matthew Lillard as Mr. Charles. He was definitely a standout. I absolutely love this character. How he stood up to Kingpin, and he didn't take any shit. And Kingpin seemed a little bit intimidated by him. But I don't know. I really liked his character. He was a breath of fresh air, and I'm really excited to see more from him. I also liked Heather having PTSD from Muse. Like, she keeps seeing him. I think that's a very cool storyline for her. How it affects her, and like how she's changing as a character. I think that's a very interesting narrative to see how it shapes and builds up and how it pays off by the end. Is she gonna become a villain, or is she gonna see the light and Daredevil actually saves her, psychologically? I think that's cool. And they're actually using Muse more impactful. Like, season one, he was cool, but like I didn't feel like he was that impactful. I don't know. I think this season, the way they're using Muse as like this ghost figure where he's like taunting her, I think that will be better for his character and actually like justify season one. Because like I said, even though he looked cool, his storyline was interesting in season one, as a character he was a bit bland and boring, and he didn't have a lot of impact for me. So I'm happy with that. Like I said, spoilers, but the ending with Bullseye helping Matt so that the task force don't know his identity. Okay, they do know, but like Bullseye kills them, so like they don't report to Kingpin. Dude, that was actually great. That ending was really, really good. And that's why it's one of the reasons I am really looking forward to episode 2, because like, how is Bullseye gonna play into this? I know they're gonna have like Bullseye and Daredevil teaming up. I just love Bullseye. He's such a cool character. I can't wait. But yeah, this episode was not amazing. I did have some issues, mainly with the characters. I think the people surrounding Kingpin, like all the characters, all his henchmen, and like everyone around Kingpin is great. I love watching them. They're really interesting. They feel distinct to one another. I just really, really like watching them. But people who are connected to Matt, Daredevil, like his surrounding, the characters, they're boring. Like, I don't know why. I just don't enjoy watching them. I'm not a big fan of Cherry. I never really liked Karen. Nothing against the actors. It's just the characters. They don't click with me. I don't know why. They're quite boring to watch. And even this episode, they built on Matt and Karen's relationship. I just didn't care. Like, I literally don't care for those scenes. It's good that Matt, gets a girlfriend or like a love interest, but I was always a Daredevil and Elektra kind of guy, so I hope they bring Elektra, even though she didn't get a lot of character development. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of Karen, and she seems to be very, very involved in this season. So maybe she will grow on me this season. I don't know, but yeah, like the rest of the characters with him, even the DAs, and like I don't know, man. It's just they seemed pretty bland in this episode. I'm hopeful that they will be better as we go on, but yeah, that was one of my critiques. And the other critique is okay. I know Daredevil has some like fake punches. I know that. Even Netflix once had it. But like when they're interrogating Cherry at the end and they're punching him, the punches looked so fake. Maybe it's like a charm thing for them, like the Daredevil show has like fake punches. It just broke my immersion. I didn't enjoy it that much. They could have done a very, very better job, to be honest. One thing I noticed, why does Daredevil scream every time he kicks or punches someone? He did it like 2 or 3 times in this episode. He literally kicks someone and he's like, just like screaming. What's the reason? Like, I know I get he's angry, but like, does he have to do that every time? So that was like one of my nitpicks as well. But saying that though, I do love the costume. I think the black costume with the DD, finally, double Ds, finally. I think it looks absolutely incredible. The visualization of it looks really good with the cinematography and like the lighting. He's basically Batman in this season. I don't know. I just love the black suit. Any superhero character that gets the black suit is cool. With how Spider-Man got it in Far From Home with the red and black, I thought that was really, really cool. So I do love this season's costume, and I like that we've seen the trailers and the posters. Like the black paint is actually peeling off, and like the red is coming out, and it's like Daredevil is being born again, which is a cool visual interpretation of like the whole narrative and like the title of the show. But yeah, overall, it was a pretty good episode. Like I said, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. I do like the narrative of like how they try and take down Wilson Fisk, which is really cool. But what I'm curious about is how is it gonna connect the Spider-Man and Thunderbolts? I know Street Level is not trying to connect to the films or like the TV shows, but like a little acknowledgement of those events would, I don't know, I would be very satisfied. Because what happened in Thunderbolts, like the whole Sentry, the Void taking over the city and like darkness, that's pretty fucking big, dude. You know what I mean? Like that's a big event. So does it take place before or after? If it did take place after, what do people think of it? That's what I'm very curious about. And how does this like anti-vigilante task force strategy Wilson Fisk is doing, how does it affect Spider-Man? Hopefully in the Brand New Day film, I hope we can see how it affected him. I'm guessing the new film will have a montage because it's like 4 years after the last one, so they're gonna show what he's been up to. Hopefully that Law has like a scene in that montage. That would be very cool, and then tie everything together. I don't need Spider-Man in Daredevil. I don't need Daredevil in Spider-Man or Kingpin. The overarching narrative of Daredevil or Spider-Man, a bit cross-pathing with others, would be cool, or like acknowledging what has happened. Either way, what do you guys think? Please let me know down below. I'm very looking forward to episode 2 and apparently episode 3 next week. We're getting 2 episodes, which is really cool. Daredevil is back, and I do love these posters. I mean, look at them. They look absolutely stunning. But yeah, either way, thank you very much for watching. I'll see everyone on the next video.